calling all you women who are go-getters, ladies who do all the things and seem to have it all together. Business leaders, mothers, volunteers, and household managers who get things done. You ladies give everything to everyone every day. You're 100% committed, you're loyal, and you're driven. But you're also exhausted, stressed out, overwhelmed, and just generally feel like crap. Let me introduce you to Self-Care for Female Leaders. This program specializes in helping you female leaders prioritize self-care without sacrifice. Your coach will help you streamline your schedule, get clear on your goals and priorities, and help you learn to fuel your body for the lifestyle you want to live. This program makes time for you easy to find. It eliminates stress, it increases your energy, and helps you finally feel like the badass you are. So if you're ready to ditch the stress and start feeling more like yourself again, click the link to schedule a discovery call today.
I am excited to introduce Shae Gines today. She is the owner, founder, and photographer extraordinaire with La Bella Soleil Photography. She does, gosh, you do a lot of things. I mean, infant pictures, but you also do like family, big groups, and on location type photography. I was really drawn to Shae because of the mentality that she had around her business and going in as this amazing boss mama to make beautiful things for other people and to make memories. I am one of these people that I love the relationships that I have in my life. But I am horrible, absolutely horrible at taking pictures myself. So any photographer that I meet that can capture those memories and those relationships in beautiful photography, I mean, you and I can just be BFFs because I don't do it myself. But Shae, let me throw the microphone over to you. Introduce, let us know anything else you want us to know about you. And then just a little bit more about your company and what you do.
Thank you. And of course we can be BFFs forever. So I specialize in newborn and children and family portraiture. But it's so much more than that. The things that I give my client is the entire package of an experience. I have a space that is utilized to make everybody feel comfortable and lovely. My whole workflow is designed with my clients in mind to make sure that they're getting the number one experience. Because what you want is for them to look at the picture and remember, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And it was so fun. And look at these wonderful memories that we have captured and created together. And that's literally all I do. I document and freeze time because every family is worth documenting.
I love that. I love that. And you don't want to look back at the pictures and remember what a nightmare the photo shoot was because your kids wouldn't listen and they wouldn't hold still and they were screaming and crying. And yeah.
Okay, I totally have a story. I totally have a story that goes with that. I was probably in third or fourth grade. We had come to visit family on vacation. And the morning of the family photos, my mom was carrying bags of like groceries and food and stuff like that into her mom's house, my grandma's house. She tripped on a step and fell, broke a jar and cut her hand, like almost the entire length of her pinky. And the rest of the morning just reflected that whole accident. It was horrible and awful. And it was, we get to the photo studio later and like my little brother had to stand in front of my mom because she had this big bandage on her hand. And we all, whenever we look at that picture, we don't see a beautiful family picture. We see the hellish morning that we went through in order to get to the studio on time and look beautiful. Dang it.
Definitely.
And so I can appreciate you creating an experience for your clientele, for the people that come into the studio. And I mean, I've seen your space and it is gorgeous and wonderful. So explain a little bit about why the experience creates higher value for the photographs themselves, but what are they actually taking home to hang on their walls?
So the fun thing about photography is, I mean, we live in the world of digital, right? Everybody wants everything right now. And we also live in the world of DIY. Um, every phone comes with an amazing camera now. Like I'm actually kind of shocked at the ability of the cameras now, because now you can actually go in and you can change your ISO, you can change your aperture, you can literally hone in on these cameras that you can do with like a big, DSLR camera. But I don't give pictures. I never have. I never have. I've never given somebody a picture. I create lasting memories and heirlooms for them to cherish for a lifetime. The experience that I give them is literally generated around their memories and what's important to them. I ask every single one of my clients, what is it about this session that you want to remember in 10 years from now? What do you want to remember when you look at these pictures? And everybody's always like, I don't know, like how little my kids are. But it allows me with their responses to find out what's important to them, because I don't want to take their pictures and say, here you go, here's your download, bye, see you next year. That's not what's important to me. What's important to me is really locking in on what is important to them. That's my job. Their job, they always think, oh, I'm not photogenic. I'm not photogenic. I'm like, that's okay, girl. I got you. That's my job. That's not your job. My job is to make sure that they're comfortable. They trust me. That's number one. They have to trust me, or else I'm not going to be able to do my job. They have to trust that I'm going to create this and that I'm going to give them beautiful memories that they're going to want inside of their home. You have clients that order a 30 by 40 picture on their wall. They don't want to walk by and be like, that lady was a beast. She was a
And that
nightmare.
is the truth. I've had a few photo sessions with photographers that is what I think every time I look at the pictures. And they're not family pictures, thank God, because they wouldn't be on the wall. But yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible when you look at the picture and that's all you can think about. Like one of them, hopefully she doesn't ever listen to this, but she had someone assisting her. And that person ended up being in all the pictures because we were in a gym with mirrors. And she was like so busy, like trying to document it for social media and trying to, I don't know, do what, but she was like in half the pictures. And I was like, can you like crop her out or something? But some of the places there was no way to get her out of the picture. And I get so mad when I look at those pictures. I'm like, I didn't pay to have you in my pictures, you know?
Yep.
Definitely. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it literally ties into what Ashley's talking about. The experience is important. The precedent that I set with my clients isn't I want your cell, I want your money.
Right.
It's I want to give you a wonderful experience and create lasting memories that you're going to cherish for a lifetime. That's my job. That's it. That's all I want to do. And I work with every type of budget. I work with, whatever they need. I mean, now I will admit I do have a higher cost than most photographers here in Utah. Um, but I'm okay with that. And the clients that come to me know what they're getting from me. And placing that value, they definitely value the entire thing. I'm not just handing them, here's your picture, bye.
So talk to me about how you got to that place mentally of knowing your worth, owning your worth, because I feel like if I said 80% of women, I feel like that's not high enough, don't believe or know their own worth. They may want to ask for that raise, want to ask, their clients to pay more. They may feel as though they would like to make that, but owning it, accepting it, and being comfortable with it is a whole different ball game. So how did you get to that point? What have you done? Were you always that comfortable?
Yes and no. Like I was always comfortable in the fact of who I am, and I know that I'm a totally type A person, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm really analytical, but I'm also really judgmental. Like we're our own self's worst critic, right? Like when we look in the mirror, we see everything that's wrong with us, and instead of focusing on what was wrong with me and what I was doing, I honed in on those little things and I tweaked them and I made them right. And once when I made them right and I was comfortable with what my process is and what I was doing, I was then comfortable saying, it's okay for me to ask for a paycheck. It's okay for me to support my family. It is okay for me to make a living. That is okay. It is okay for me to have a staff and be able to pay them a living. Um, it literally was me trying to tweak my brain from focusing on the negative to focusing all the wonderful things that me having this positive outlook in my business could bring. Because it's not just me. Like, I mean, my husband promised, my husband was like, yes, please bring some money home. That would be great. 5 years ago, he was like, I feel like you just have a really expensive hobby. Um, and photography, it definitely probably is one of the most expensive hobbies I've ever had. But I like that I'm allowed to contribute. I like the fact that I'm comfortable with who I am now. I don't feel like I'm a bad person. I don't feel like I should be ashamed that I charge what I charge. I just got there because I wanted more. I wanted to feel fulfilled. And money, of course, does not complete you, but girl, I'm not lying. It helps.
No, but you know what? What completes you and what makes you fulfilled is knowing your worth and having people validate that. Like, yes,
Yes.
you are
Yes.
No,
absolutely worth it.
remember those days,
Yeah.
like looking at it going, nobody is ever going to pay me that.
Yeah.
Nobody is. Who in their right mind would give me that money? Whether it's a couple $100 or it's thousands of dollars, you're just like, nobody's going to do that. But you know what? If you put into the universe that nobody is going to do that, they're not.
Then they won't.
Nope, they won't. But if
Yeah.
you put it out there that, hey, I am worth this, I do deliver above and beyond this. And my clients are not just going to love this, they're going to come back and say, I can't believe that's all you charged me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
This
I've seen that
weekend,
too. I
sorry.
have absolutely seen that with my clients, but I also see growth and development with the people that I work with when they understand that what they value is worth it. And when they draw that line in the sand and say, you know what, you can have your own opinion, but this is what I want because dang it, I want it. Then it's all of a sudden that shift and that change and that mentality of, no, you are going to keep your room clean because that's valuable to me. No, you are going to clean up after you make lunch because that's valuable to me. And when we expect people to reciprocate the standards and the value and to say, no, this is worth it. And you need to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to get the worth out of this relationship, out of this environment, then we start to see the improvement. That's when we start to see those boundaries. Whether it's in a business, whether it's keeping our home clean and tidy, or, going to the gym. When you say, no, I expect you to eat good food because I value my body and therefore I value your body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this whole concept of once you know your value and your worth, you set those boundaries and those lines and you're willing to say, I'm worth it. Mm-mm.
Right. Right.
And then you hold true that. But then you see, just like Shae says, like, then you see people saying, wait, that's all you charged me? And then you see your family saying, wait, that's all you want of me? You just want me to make my bed. That's it. Okay. I can do that, because then people see the value, that intrinsic value of what's going on and what they get in return.
I've always loved the idea and the concept of teaching people how to treat you, that we teach others how
Yes.
to treat us. And so when you're starting a business and you're, putting yourself out there, you have a couple of options. You can go out and go, well, I think I'm kind of good at what I do. And would you please pay me because I really like doing it? Or you go out and you go, I am a phenomenal professional. You will get more than you could ever hope out of whatever this is. I'm 100% worth it. And this is why, it's very
And
different.
that's why I don't bring on family or friends as clients.
Oh, absolutely. 100.
Isn't it the most empowering thing, learning that you can say no? Like that
Yeah.
was like the most
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, I can say no to somebody. That's so weird because I remember at the very beginning where I would bend and tweak my own policies and procedures to fit somebody else's desires and needs, even when I knew they weren't the right fit for me and I wasn't the right fit for them. And now I'm just like, let me give you a wonderful referral.
Yeah.
So it's so empowering and it spills over into so many different aspects inside of your life. Once
Yes.
when you
Yes.
learn how to say no.
Well,
And
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 Heather
that
and I
you're
did
not
an
going to
entire
sorry.
episode on that. You have to say no to say yes. I mean, you have to say no to the things that are going to wear you down
Yep.
in order to say yes to the things that are your priorities and that are the things that are going to make your life better. So absolutely, it can spill into everything. And it's such a good reminder that, yeah, practice saying no.
Well, and it also takes you from that scarcity mindset to the abundance mindset of if I say no, then no one else will buy from me. I have to say yes because I need to make money. Or you can say no because you're not my person. And there are plenty more of my people out there and I need to save the space for them. So it's a totally just a shift of mindset, isn't it?
Definitely. And when you make that mindset, the people that you bring into your life are completely different. Whether it's a client, it's a personal, it's your neighbors, like whatever. It's the people that you attract into your life are completely different. And
Absolutely.
it's wonderful. Like I'm getting friends.
But the good kind of friends, the friends that are
Yeah.
going places and doing things. Because we've talked a lot about that on this podcast about surrounding yourself with the right people. And that's why we've been
Definitely.
picky about our guests so far too, because we are careful who we surround our friends, who our friends are. And we want to be surrounded by those who have the similar mindset, of I am worth it and I am a
Well, now
professional.
I'm flattered.
You should be.
Thank
It's a
you.
pretty special place.
Like, I'm the most amazing person I know. Just ask me. No, I'm just
So happy of you to meet me.
right.
But
You're welcome. You're welcome.
and there is obviously that delineation between hubris and narcissism and simply knowing your worth and knowing that, whether I am expecting high quality people in my life or I am expecting high quality services and goods, um, we can be the people that stand up and say, here I am. I'm willing to pay that amount of money or expect that amount of money simply because I know my value and I'm not going to settle for anything less.
Right.
And I see that it's so interesting. Okay, it's so interesting to look at the people who want something for nothing and that scarcity mindset that they live in. The people that tend to, for example, go out and buy cheap plastic sterilite drawers instead of a nice wooden bookshelf are typically the type of people also that are going to spend $100 for a photographer and not be happy with the results that they get and say, see you next year. They're also the type of people that are going to spend $40 on a get abs over the weekend kind of DVD. And then they try it once and say, well, that didn't work.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
Oh, we don't get
where is
instant
our
results.
mind? And we don't get the results that we want because we're not willing to invest in ourselves and in our mindset. I think it really is, Heather, you said it, it's that mindset shift of, if I can understand the value of buying a nice $150 bookcase instead of, $30 sterilite shelves that aren't going to serve me, there's going to be a different mindset about how we approach the organization in our house. If we hire a professional photographer instead of, setting up the camera on a tripod on a camera, we're going to value things differently. And I think honestly, I mean, we've been talking about what's our worth, but there's almost a chicken or the egg effect too. It's what comes first. And I think it's that mindset that comes first of you have to shift your mindset in order to know what you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
But by investing in your mindset, that's what's going to cause that shift to happen in the first place. So I love talking in circles because it just shows how connected everything is. I mean, here are the three of us talking about three different things, but we can find that common ground in if you shift your outlook on life and recognize that, investing a couple $1,000s in beautiful photography can totally transform your house, but it also transforms your mindset of how you treat that relationship, how that experience was, how you treat the actual physical photographs, and how you're going to treat yourself because you invested that kind of money in that kind of an experience.
Right.
I love it. It gives me goosebumps.
Well, I was just thinking too, if you think about like if you've ever bought something really nice, or you do, design a room really nice, you feel different. The same way you feel different when you put on an expensive outfit, right? The same way you feel different if you go and you eat at a fine dining restaurant. It puts you in a different place. And so if you're creating in your home space this place of, I don't want to say classiness, but it's like nicer. It's not, you didn't go and get it all from the dollar store.
Right.
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 Or you have a house that's decorated from the dollar store because you can get pictures and stuff there. You're going to feel different. So you're going to act different. Like I remember one time, this is going to go way back. I had to do a debate in like junior high school about school uniforms. And you have to study like both sides. And I remember one of the things that I read, and I think I remembered it because I went to a private school prior to this junior high, and I didn't have to wear uniforms. And then as soon as I left, they changed to uniforms, and I was like, phew, dodge that bullet. But then I read this study about how kids act differently in uniforms. They learn better. Their behavior is different. They're better behaved when they're in like skirts and little suits versus if they're in hoodies and jeans. And I've remembered that forever because I was like, really? But it made all the difference in the world. They studied and adults act different too. If you put on a business suit, you act differently than in your yoga pants. You carry yourself differently, you behave differently. And so I think the same goes for your house. If you decorate your house and you have very nice furniture and really beautiful photos on your walls, it feels different than if you went to the dollar store and wherever and got your Sterilite drawers, which I actually have some in my closet. Don't judge me, Ashley. Don't judge me.
No judgment.
They hold my sports bras, so I don't feel like I need a real fancy thing.
There is a time and a place.
I have some too, and Ashley crammed them onto my shelf. She was like, "Challenge accepted." Like,
that's right.
I was like, "They don't fit there, Ashley. I've already tried." She's like, "Watch this.
Watch this." Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah. She came and redefined my entire studio space. And by the time she left, I was like on Amazon, and I literally redesigned my entire studio. I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like,
I love it.
But I like speaking about mindset and beautiful spaces and what it can do. I'm not going to talk about me personally, but this weekend I had a client that came in to pick up a very large order that they had. And the wife wasn't able to make it, just the husband. And he came in and he was almost in tears. And he picked up these pictures or this album and was looking through it. And he's just like, I mean, he's got a mask on, but you can tell like his whole face is just lit up. And he was so excited and so grateful. But then he said something that I probably will never forget as long as I live. And he said, "I don't know what you did." He's like, "But a couple of days ago, I was playing the guitar in the house, and I looked over, and Annette, that's his wife's name. I think, but Annette was looking at me, just staring and crying." He's like, "You set the precedent of my entire home of love for the last month." It's like, "I don't know how you did it, but you did it. You brought more love into my family. Thank you." And I was just like,
"May I have goosebumps."
I totally do. I'm totally covered right now.
That's
So
amazing.
I mean, they had already invested into their memories, and like I remember when they came in, like I have a 4-step process as my workflow, and they came in for their consultation and sat down with me, and they were pretty adamant. They had a little guy that was, had some pretty significant challenges physically and mentally, and they were just like, "Oh, if you get one good picture, we'll be happy." I got tons, like tons. This little guy was just adorable. And he's named the same as my son's name. So like I'm never gonna forget him. He was beautiful. And like the whole time as I'm photographing the family, I can hear them behind me going, "This is amazing. This is fun. This is wonderful." And I remember thinking forever ago that studio family shots were like, go to Target. Like
Right.
if you want family pictures, go to Target. Like don't come to me in my studio. But like I switched my own mentality, and now I'm giving that mentality to my clients, and it's literally helping things grow. And they, from the day one, they valued everything. And then for them to come in and tell me that, like I brought love into their family, like you guys, like I don't even need a Google review from them now. Like I'm just like I'm not gonna lie, I'm secretly hoping, I hope you write that on your Google review.
Like, so can I go ahead and write your review for you? And
Yeah. Can I?
But
I'll just.
that's amazing.
But
That's
how
so cool.
rewarding is that? And how much more does it make me like feel empowered and like, oh my gosh,
Right.
I did this. I did what I set to do, and I gave a lasting creating memories that they're never going to forget and they're always going to cherish. And I promise they will never use any other photographer ever again.
Nope. Nope. And those
Mm-mm.
pictures are just going to end up in a box somewhere.
Well, they bought a 60 by 40, so
That's
it's 5
huge.
feet. It's huge. It's
I don't
so
even know.
big.
I don't have a wall to put one on if I could.
Right. That would be my wall. That would.
Just,
But I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know
it was
what to
pretty
say
big.
like, I don't even know what to say to follow that up, because that is, I mean, that's everything that we try to do, right? Not only as
Definitely.
business owners, but with Heather and I, getting together, that is what we try to do, to bring that happiness into our home, head, and our health, by shifting something, whatever you did. I don't know what you did, but you changed something. And now that's bleeding over into other aspects and areas of their lives. That is exactly what we try to do, and to bring into, this podcast and our personal businesses, our personal lives. And it's just creating that experience. There was a mindset shift that happened in you that led to something huge in somebody else's life.
It's contagious.
That's
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I can tell you what my husband calls it, but you'll laugh. My husband calls it the shabies. And he's like, once when you get the shabies, they don't ever go away. They stay with you.
That's great.
That's what my husband. I'm like, I have like, it makes it sound like I'm a dirty, horrible thing, but he means it politely, I
He
promise.
means it. He means it so well. That's amazing. That's amazing.
He's like, once when you get the shabies, they don't ever go away. So,
Well, congratulations on changing people's lives, because that is what we're all about. And it's definitely a ripple
Absolutely.
effect. I was just thinking, I will be very curious. I would love to hear like what further ripples happen in their family,
Right?
I'm excited too.
Generally when you get your act together or something shifts in one area, the rest follow. And it's cool to see. It's super cool to see. So
Yeah.
awesome.
You just want to be a fly on their wall and watch and see what happens over the next year. Just to watch. Just to watch. So if people do need a case of the shabies, like I already follow you on Instagram and all that good stuff. So tell people where they can find you and where they can follow you.
So my website is labellasoleilphotography.com, and Soleil is SOLE. And then on Instagram and Facebook, it's just Labella Soleil Photography. But like it's what is it? I'm so bad at social media, you guys. What is it? Asterisk? Is that what it's called? The at thing. Asterisk the star. So bad. So at Labella Soleil Photos on both. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Shae, thank you so much. It's been a fantastic conversation. I had goosebumps several times, and we were so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now last thing, we're going to put you on the spot, and you can take as much time as what you need to. But if you could briefly say one thing that our listeners could do today to have a happy home, head, or health, what's the one thing you would tell them to do today to get that?
You are the most awesome person you know. And it's okay to believe in that.
Boom.
That's all I got.
Goosebumps again.
Mic drop. That's
You're hired. Yeah.
That
It was
was a hard
truly
question. Now I know how my clients feel.
It was
I don't know.
truly a pleasure to have you on and to hear all that. That's so cool. I'm glad. I'm excited to hear about all the other people that get shavies.
I have a visitor. Sorry.
I love it. And you brought your baby too. Your fur baby.
That's all right. Heather has a very big baby as well.
I do have it. He's not in here because
Yeah.
sometimes he gets tired of me working and he starts trying to contribute to the conversation. So
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, thank you
She
so
does
much.
this a lot.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shae. We'll see you soon.
Bye.